Assalamu alaikum. Suleiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, Breaker of the Seven Seals. Welcome. I still have some technical difficulties here with sound and audio, so hopefully some has been corrected. I try to find out as I proceed. Brothers and sisters, as I've been saying, make an adjustment here. Still making adjustments. Oh, not that kind of adjustment. Working on it. American in judgment now. You're in free fall. American in judgment. The Holocaust. They're trying to say critical race theory, trying to diminish it, they can do whatever they like. That's their problem. It's not going to change the fact. They're in judgment, they're in destruct mode, and that's what we're going to talk about today. My presentation. Deep dark secrets. So I'm going to go in general through the timeline of their destruction. What we can expect to happen from now forward. So I'm going to do it briefly. I've been trying to put something together. So we have a lot of difficulties. This is an attempt to accomplish that. Still not totally satisfied with it, so there'll be follow-ups. But I can't hold back, brothers and sisters, because we're at the threshold of a new world. So a new world. But it's coming in just like a baby coming through mother's womb. The birth pains, crying, shouting, pain. But then when the baby's birth, only joy for us. Just proceed, brothers and sisters. I'm kind of like moving through this kind of hastily because I'm anxious to see how the result is. Issues I've been trying to correct last couple of days. I mean, it's kind of like in vain in a way because as soon as I correct everything, they go and find another way to distort it. But anyway, 30 years plus, they'll give it before I do. I'm not giving up. And that, like brothers and sisters, you know, Elijah was given a great light. He said, people said in darkness receive a great light. They weren't talking about that light. Maybe I should elaborate that more, but he gave Master Muhammad gave a great light. Technical light, mathematics, he gave a great light. Master Muhammad carried that light faithfully for 40-some years. He lit up the planet. He literally lit the planet. He was known all around the world. People all over the world came to interview him. He was known and respected and resisted and targeted and the rest, all other stuff to go with it, right? When he carried the life faithfully, he was respected and feared. And then he wasn't going to split second and that light snuffed out. It snuffed out like it never was. He said, how did that happen? How did it happen? All those people on that planet out there? What happened? Because primarily what happened, right? It's like, it's similar to what Suleiman has here, it's preaching in the graveyard. You can preach all you want to people dead. You can preach forever. You're not cut by the grave. But that's his job. Can these bones live? Yet the preacher, Elijah Muhammad, that's his possible task, he has to accomplish it. Elijah Muhammad said something similar, not quite as bad. But he was preaching blind people. He had a great life, it was blind people. On labor now, they didn't even know who was even there. See? But someone else come out and say, well, this is the way, how do you know? Like Farrakhan, this is the way, how do you know? But he was blind. And he said, like to begin with. He did snuff it out, it's like I was right there. I couldn't believe it. I'm talking about literally the next day. Once they found out Elijah Muhammad was no longer around, the next day, he was bad mouthing and everything else. Had all I could do to keep him commit homicide. The next thing, they said Suleiman would walk alone. He'd walk alone. So he'd look around and he was amazed that there was no one to help. And he has a bright light, the brightest light ever. He has in us the brightest light ever. Said people set in darkness will receive a great light. So you walk in darkness, but darkness comprehend him not. The light walked in dark, the darkness. So in other words, he had a bright light, and they were just like sitting around and look. They don't move anything. And that's the job he has to accomplish. Then you got the distractors. Well, they didn't do anything either. All they do is block the light. I can see, they don't say anything. You tell how, you tell the level of person's enthusiasm, how they understand about what they're doing. If I told someone that there was a $1 billion worth of gold in their house, and they believed it, the next day, how's we going? How's we going? You wouldn't be like, hey man, let me see if I can find me a shovel. The next day, they believe that the house will be gone. They truly believe there's $1 billion in their house. See, we got people trying to bullshit people. They can't bullshit me. Nobody came and gave an angel. And I could have picked up, nobody watched me. Nobody said they watched me, see what I do. I could pick up, looked at it, studied it, put it back down, and play with it, read it over the years. Who's going to say anything? Who's going to do anything? Nobody's doing anything to me. I kept on doing what I was doing. Because I personally know what to do to get the hell out of here. I didn't do that. Because I knew what was at stake. People at stake. People's lives. And primarily, it's these sisters concerned about, because they were made a promise, and I'm going to keep that promise to them. If it wasn't for that, I would have said that probably heck with it. They were made a promise. And we don't break our promise to our sisters. We protect our sisters. We stand up for them. And that's the primary reason why that keeps me going. Because the sisters, because these brothers I'm not sure about. Because after it was let loose, they should be ready to kick ass. And a lot of them are better than that. He running back, got the head of master's ass. They kick his ass, they kiss his ass. So I say, what's this? It's primarily the sisters. Promise made to them, they made a sacrifice. So I'm going to make sure the promise made them was kept, will be kept. I can't say so much for these brothers though. The brightest light is. And all you got to push it. Some worse than that. You know, you push no wheels. Like a car that's sitting there with no wheels on it, you can't even push it. Light as bright as this. So nobody can say I'm not committed because they got to look at the background and see that's part of, well, let me put it this way. As part of the reason why, well, I'm not going to that. Anybody that knows my history knows what I was doing before I ran into Angel and what afterwards. Commitment I made 100%. Well, I will say one thing. See, how did I know I'm keeping pace with God? Because I've never met him after I'm on it. The angel gives me the angel is the information I need. But how do I myself know that I'm doing everything I need to do to accomplish the mission? You know, it's like when you drive and you see landmarks, that's how you know, hey, I'm on the right path. It's supposed to be a Motel 6 over here, and over that side, right down 6 miles later, it's supposed to be a football stadium. Then so you know you're on the right direction, right? And the same thing with timing. Because certain things have to happen at certain times. I mean, that certain things require me to do at certain times. So, for instance, as I'm moving along, right? Certain things have to come at certain times. Take, for instance, this situation where there's these 2 books. Now, I got there's 2 books, right? I know these 2 books 30 years ago. I got the proof. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't print it. Books 30 years ago, Angel books. So nobody can come and say that, hey man, you just made this up yesterday. Because information is 30 years old. I'm 30 years old now. So let me just give a situation that, you know. So it says, I'm supposed to give these books. I know I had them. I know I had to give them to somebody. I knew it wouldn't happen until another event happened. To this, there'd be an African black president. That's what Angel tells me. So after that, then, right? So then it'd be 2 people had to get a book and they show up. So now, if I wasn't put it all in, right, then you have the rendezvous point. We call it rendezvous point. We had to be a certain place at a certain time, right? So that's a rendezvous point. Shows me I'm on time. Because if I wasn't, then that event would never happen. Because that's an event, that's not an external event, that's a personal event. So if those 2 people showed up, I would have to be available to make contact with them. That's how I know, like if you travel again, right, you got road marks, landmarks, but you also have time. Like, sometimes you see, it says, you're going 10 miles, you're going 20 miles, or whatever. You got to be at this certain, you got to meet at this point in time. You got to be at 10 o'clock, you got an appointment to be at 10 o'clock, and you got another, right? So, if you're late, you're going to miss the appointment. That means you're slow. Now, if you get there early, that's even better. So, if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do and laying back, then that event would never happen because they would never met me because I would have been where I should be for that to happen. If I wasn't on line or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the ways I know that I'm on time. And I'm doing it like it's supposed to be done. Another thing too, well, I'm not going to say right now. well, it was. You know, if you go and check, okay, let me just do it for you right now. I'm thinking about it. Make sure we're totally accurate here. Because I said it before, people said, oh man, okay. So I'm going to give you the exact date. Hold on. Right. Exactly right. Okay. Internet. Internet birthday is 1983. Right. So you left Chicago, New Jersey, right? Okay. Let's check one more thing. I'm going to make a point of those. See you later. She did it earlier, I got distracted, and I ain't going to go into it. Right. Tremendous project on that here. Now, birthday in 1983, but when it came out to the public and everything, and social media, everything came out, that's happening in the 90s. Now, it's not going to matter to some of you, not going to make sense of this. Right? Because those of you that make it, you don't understand it. These things have happened for no reason. If there was no internet, there was no social media, right, then this message, because that's the nature of the way this says message will be preached through all the world. That's the nature of the way this message is being delivered. Not being door to door and that kind of stuff. Because it says Suleiman's message will not be heard in the streets. He will be going door to door like Elijah did and that kind of stuff. It says that, so you go check it out. We spread this way. Because we're talking about the right? Thought atmosphere, mind zone. That's what it battles before that. And I can tell you everything that's coming to existence, right? I mean, all saying up, it's from our creativity. And I talk about these explosions, atomic explosions, that's changing reality. And I explain how, as you're moving, right, your mind creates the means for you to move. Once you have the energy to move, your mind creates immediately, right, as you expect. The mind does that. I know most of you don't understand that. Because it's all pressure. Your mind gets flowing with pressure. So if all of a sudden you got enough energy to move at 20 miles an hour, you can't burn 20 miles an hour. So when you don't get it all of a sudden, you start going, maybe walking 2 miles an hour, right? You go 2.1, 2.20. But what happens is you get energy, your mind start forming, right? So when you get to 20, you already formed a means to do that. Car. You understand that creative ability here. Because if you're in the pressure field says that's how fast you have to move, that's the temperature of that pressure field you're in, right? Then it means you have to, that's how you're going to move. And your mind will create the means for you to do that. No delay. Because as you start moving, your mind will start moving the quickest. The mind is connected with the pressure. So as the pressure increases, your mind will increase in direct connection to pressure. As that pressure increases at 1 degree a year, whatever, right? Then it might take you 20 years to invent that car. Because it takes 20 years to move 20 miles per hour. And the pressure is increasing like 1 degree every day. Then it might take you a year to build that car. 6 months. Company idea and make it happen. One day you understand this thing, brothers and sisters. I keep telling you, angel is what's changing reality. It's what's changing reality. You brought this reality because you changed reality from agricultural because then you became more powerful, and so you created a reality that had less stressful on you than the reality was in before, which was the Industrial Revolution. So you feel slaves, it's not as bad slave as you was before, but now you're ready to break all of it. So you coming right now. I said, remember I gave you hints. I said, it'll come with new music. Yours will come with new reality. It'll come with new technology. But it'll come out, you got here, because you know what, you have control of it. Man, they got control of Master Muhammad's wheel. That's why we got to be out of here. Because we cut a new reality, we don't want them to have control of it. Because they got control of this reality, it's not theirs, it's ours. But they have control of it. They have control of our wealth. That's why it gives you all these hints. Say, well, you have great wealth, you have great wealth, you don't see it, do you? You don't recognize it, do you? You have great wealth right now, you don't recognize it, because they control it. When do you understand this? So that's why the angel says, why say, don't say place else in the Bible like that. We open the seal, this happened. Open the seal, that happened. Because he's making it happen. And break those seals, those atomic bombs change reality. And that all the time bombs brought internet into existence, brought into Facebook, all that stuff in existence. Because that's the method of how this message is going to be delivered. So I'm not worried about them. They can do all the stuff they want to. Like I said, put me in jail. I can tell you, they couldn't hold me. They had me down in Del Demon's Island, had me down 100%. Cold. Anybody else who just gave up, had me down cold. Right? I doubled up on my 5 fundamental principles, and they couldn't understand it right today. They didn't understand how I walked out there. They could not understand. I wasn't worried about it. Not 1 second. If I go through the whole details of how things just keep happening, they can understand it. Things happening, right? Every time they cover something happened, and that's, okay. I walked right out of there. Untouched. Locked away out in the Pacific, on an island, Demon Island I call it. I know what I'm doing. I know this reality, I understand it, and where it came from, came in our minds. But I'm moving on, brothers and sisters. See, your mind has to get to the Christ, then you bring your body along. That's why you have thorough knowledge of self. When you have thorough knowledge of self, because your mind's in paradise. You got to bring your body along. See? Because most of you are in mental health. If you're confused, you understand what the world is about, you worry about dying, you worry about going, you're in mental health. I'm not. And it says, soon I will walk alone. Anything else will be distraction. And I'm getting a lot of distractions. I'm getting ready to put an end to all distractions. Don't need them. Because it's hurting the cause. So you have to have added value. You have added value, get it out the way. You don't hurt yourself. See, because imperfection is like a cancer. It grows. See, if you lay a foundation of imperfection in it, Then the bigger house comes, the more the imperfection is going to cause a problem. Because the more weight you put on it, the imperfections, the crack is going to be the weight. Because man, say, okay, you got a building foundation, it's got a crack in it. And you're going to build a 20-story building. Well, every time you put more weight on it, that crack gets worse. So by the time you 20 story, the whole thing might come coming down. You can't tolerate cracks. If you tolerate cracks, if you allow imperfection going here after, it just grows. So 100 years from now, we're back where we are. 200 years, it'll be worse. Depending on how far you go, it grows. Because you want to put more weight on it. Right? If you look at it that way, the worse it gets. And I spent 30-some years to make sure this mess is perfect. I'm not going to let anybody go in there and F around with it. Playing around with it. Because they ain't careful. They got excuses and stuff. No, that's not going to happen. I'm putting into it. This didn't come easy. It tells you hard what it says. You're like, He's saying from the foundation of the earth. This is not easy. So the third thing is make sure it's perfect. So it's hand up to Master Muhammad. You get something that's perfect, not some flaw, imperfections, cracks in it. Then it shows you're careless, you don't give a damn what it shows. Or you just can't handle it. Move on, brothers and sisters. The kingdom lasts forever. Means no flaws in it. Read about 144,000. No flaws. Perfect. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm building. And you're going to see them in a minute. And then you realize, like a mirror. Then you get the mirror and you see who you really are when you see the real deal. What the real deal looks like. See? These are secrets. So I'm going to cover a bunch of things today, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to go too far, like I'm still working on these books. And it says start like a lamb and end up like a lion. We're going to work, brothers. I can't tolerate no bullshit. Because see, bullshit gets people killed. You get somebody the instruction, they'll follow it. See, if you study about Prophet Muhammad, the reason he got wounded, because some jerk, some fool, didn't follow the instruction he was given. He was told to do one thing, he did something else, and the result was Prophet Muhammad almost got mortally wounded. Ain't going to happen here. Your instruction clearly, you can't follow it, get the hell out of the way, you can't be in this military, you can't be my military. Because you don't get people killed. You're wasting our time. You can't go into battle with me. Oh, I forgot my sword. I forgot to sharpen my sword. And like Christ said, if you was for real, you'd been prepared. Okay, let's move this down. I got sidetracked. I don't have time to be looking both behind my shoulders, see everybody doing this right there. Kind of serving the grown people. Right? If you're serious, you want to take care of business. Like Master Muhammad didn't show up, he said, Elijah, you got this, you got that. I took care of business. Nobody said, nobody taught me how did I get to this. Nobody gave me a book, I said how to do it. Because I truly believe in my people. I believe in this process. I believe in like Muhammad's taught. I believe in Master Muhammad 100%. And that shows, right, in my work. In fact, because You don't know anybody knows this is what I'm talking to you about. You never heard any stuff before. And you know it's right. So how do you think it happened? I got a lightning ball in my ass. Is that happening? No. Break the power of your power. Now see, we're going to start from here. The word's about to start. Skill will break the pride of your power. That's America. Get ready to break the pride of your power. Because that's what Master Muhammad's getting ready to do. He's going to break the pride of your power in the Middle East. Because see, what's happening is, and I'm not going to go into much detail I intended to, because I'm a little anxious about how this is going to, I just don't come out, right? I'm going live again and got some backups, so we'll just see. So, you see the world today. See, this is a European world. And they had to say I was going to include this. I didn't do all the things I wanted to say, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. They got this thing, this Rick Ross guy, right? And they had the European guy in charge of Europe. He says the rest of the world is a jungle, and Europeans in garden. And they got a team, convert, colonize the world. And see, you out here kissing these white, these devils' asses. They're dancing like Farrakhan, kissing on these people out to destroy you. But you understand it. I can't even really, I tell you something anyway. Break the pride of your power, because this world is constructed, they're the ones that broke up China. They're the ones that broke up the Middle East, because you got the reason why Pakistan and India. They're the ones that did that. The reason why you got Africa broke up in all these different countries. Do you know that Africa, if you put all the people in Africa all together, had the same amount of people in China all together? Now if Africa was one country, like China is, so broken up. Look how powerful Africa would be. But who broke it up? Europeans did. Who brought us up? Who was over here? Who broke up the Russian? Oh, European, but that's part of Europe too. But see, the Russians consider themselves a little different from Europeans. Because they mix it up, and that's another story. But the bottom line is that the word you see fractured comes out of the mind of Europeans. Because they could never get full control of the world, but this was how much control they was able to get. So they couldn't get control of China, so they got to control part of China. They can control all of Africa, so they got broke Africa into pieces. So they control all India, so broke it into pieces, like India, Pakistan, kind of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So now they're trying to hold all that power together. Like the Middle East, they got forces over there, all broken up, all different sects and whatever, right? So this is the world based on their ability to control. So they fractured, they got as much control as they could. They couldn't get 100% control. So this represents how much control they're to get. Because some of those places like Taiwan is allied with America. Like African countries, some of them Christian, some of them Muslim, some of them aligned with America, some ain't. So forth like that there, right? Because, and that demon thing, I'm not going into all that too, right? That's part of it. So that represents how much power they have. Now if they gain more power, that means they get more control. So maybe they get, because remember they had control of Hong Kong and Singapore. And they lose control of these things now. Because their power is waning. And part of the reason why they lose discipline, because they was told, if you read those scriptures carefully, if you disobey the laws, you will lose these things that happen to you, because they understand that discipline is the base of their power. It's energy, time, discipline gives you power. But they've lost discipline, you see right now. Homosexuality is raging, LGBT, and gender confusion, all that kind of stuff. All the stuff they're doing. Plus, okay, but anyway. So you understand that, right? Then their power base right now, the core of their power right now is represented in the Middle East. See, they got to hold that, because that's part of the reason why, because in that arena, that's where lifeblood comes from, oil. That's lifeblood is this industrial that came out of our mind, they control. That's the lifeblood of it, oil. So that's where the power base is outside of America, right there. That's where the focus is right there. They spend more money over there than any place else in the world. People building up false Israel, all that kind of stuff. They're instilling Syrian oil and all the conflict they have over there. It's in the most outer region of the world. Because that's the sign of their power. It says they'll break the pride of their power. And that's what Master Muhammad hit him. Because he said, the root of that power, he's going to break it. When he breaks that, everything else starts falling. Like dominoes. Shooter. You know what I'm saying? It starts there. Because he's going to break the pride of that power. That's the pride of that power is right there. They control the Middle East. The petrodollar comes out of the Middle East. Petrodollar is what rules the world. The economy. It's out of the Middle East. See, America, all everything's focused on America, right? False Israel, that whole religion thing is focused around false Israel. See, everything is focused on the Middle East. That's their power base. That's their power side. That's the reflection of their power. That's the pride of their power. See, because false Israel is the sign, the religious sign. So that's an economic sign. Because of the oil and everything. See? That's the pride that Palace is going to break. If it breaks that, all those things. Like I said, the Bible told you this before, Africa's coming together. Africa's coming together. Because they keep holding those like a rubber band. You're holding all things, right? You got all these things connected. You're holding the rubber. And all of a sudden, the rubber band pops and everything pops back in place. Taiwan's going back to China. Pakistan is going back with India. You know, all these places going back to where they were because the power that kept them separated is broken. The power that kept them separated is broken. He's going to break the pride of the power. All this coming back together. Africa's coming back together. We come back together as a people. We'll get those demons out. All these things come back, guess what's all these things come back together. I just talk about us mostly, but all these things come back together. We come back together. All these things kept us got separated. Because our separation over here is part based on what's happening here, right? Because they represent themselves as a true seed of Abraham. As us. You know what I'm saying? That's where the power base is. That's the focus of the power right there. And that's what Matt's coming ready to break. That's it. That's of course, that's treat everything else. Once he breaks that war, that's it. War broke out of the Middle East. War broke out of heaven. See? Break the pride and power. And everything else just snaps back. So you lose power all over the world, just like that. It's like a diamond. See, all of a sudden, people all over the world, China's all of a sudden a bigger powerhouse than it was before. India's a bigger powerhouse than it was before. Africa's a bigger powerhouse than it was before. And America has no control over them. And when America has control over them, you understand? Because America's getting all their resources and everything from all those three places. And now they're cut off. Famine! I'm putting together for you, brothers and sisters. Because America's getting richer on to take from everybody else. Now they can't take anymore. He broke the pride of power. Say they would break their bread. Because their bread is coming from everybody else. They get fertilizer from Russia. Right? They get oil from the Middle East. They get stuff all over the place. I don't know, can't call the details. But all of a sudden, boom, with China, they get all their, what part of the reason right now why these cars and everything, because they get all their so-called chips and everything from Taiwan. That's, China got to throw that now. Famine, not just a food famine, famine, everything. Total collapse. Trying to make clear for you, brothers and sisters. Break the pride of power. And that's what's happened. Let's have a few days. It immediately followed right? What breaks out of heaven? Break the pride of power. These things that result directly from that. I'm going to give a short list here. God, the man God, power is broken. That was source of power right there is broken. Middle East, broken. Religiously, bankrupt. Because as far as Israel was supposed to be true to Abraham, gone. We'll talk about that in a minute. All cut off. Totally. That's just Middle East. There's other things too. You know, the biggest arm cells, they make a lot of money for arm cells, that's cut off. But that's it. Because they're big clients in the Middle East. Come on, brothers and sisters. So I gotta focus on this kind of stuff because I can't focus on distraction and solve this problem that like dealing with children. So I can't do that. This is too important. Our people's lives are at stake here. And if people believe that, you wouldn't have the problem. You have a problem. You guys have a problem with me. You gotta come call me up and say, hey man, what you doing? Because I know what needs to be done and I'm doing it. I don't need anybody to push. I don't need to push me. See, I'm proactive. Some of my people say I push myself too hard. No such thing. No such thing. My people and our females, all the hell they've been through for the last 20, ain't no such thing. Because my brother anyway to put his life on line for these women, he don't deserve them. He sure hell put their life on line for us. All this lackadaisical shit. Or they, boy. Antichrist, bombing desolation, right? That kills the spiritual religious. Also, the social is wrapped. I'm telling you that in a minute. The social thing is wrapped around this too. Who they are, their image is also defined in the Middle East. You'll see it in a minute. So now, their power is broken. See? But he's going to finish them off. Totally broken. Because then you got the Antichrist, bombing of desolation. Because they claim they're not saying the Antichrist is going to be a Muslim and all this kind of, the Mahdi and all that kind of stuff. Right? Okay. More verses. I'm moving a little quickly. And the siege takes place. Now, the siege is a sign. But this is where men's hearts be failing. The fear of those things come from the earth. That's in the social part. Because the powers of heaven broken and shaken. That's the powers again. Powers broken. Shaken. They say shaken, shaken. That means they have no control, right? The powers of heaven have been shaken. See? And they're under siege. What does that mean? False Israel under siege. So whole religious, right, social, all that stuff that's wrapped around that is being tested, is under pressure. Because they're saying that Jesus and all that kind of stuff is going to come and save them last minute. So now it's being tested. So a lot of people hanging, oh man, I mean, Jesus about to come now, but they're under siege. They're about to be destroyed. Even though it says, right, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, you know it's destruction is near. They say, no, Jesus will come and save me last minute. See? So all that's wrapped around there. Then he's going to finish off their power. When that takes down, that's it. Now they're under siege. Now, that's the last hope. Last hope. Because Jesus is going to be back in a minute. America's going to prevail and Jesus will come back, save them, and they're going to keep asking. See, that's the last hope. That's the last tree of power. The last bit of holding that. They're like falling off a cliff right there. And all they got is some grass they hold on to. That's all they got. And they grab, they decide to come up and start shaking. They ain't got nothing else to make. They hope, oh man, I hope that grass holds. Hope those are the holes. Because the alternative is if they go down, boom, total collapse, religious, social, mental, bam, already lost. Physical side of it now. Lose social, right? Religious, or then what happens during the siege? That kills the social thing because they've been presenting the world the image thing. Because see, that false this represents in their minds whole European culture. They're probably the best of it. See, they're probably the best in European culture because they're the best tribe. They say it's 12 tribes. See, Jews mean Judah. That's where we're coming from. Judah's top tribe. That's what Judah. That is just short for Judah. And so they was the best tribe. So they're probably the best of European humanity. See, remember that's the power. So their whole ID is locked up in there. You understand? So, they're supposed to be Europeans, supposed to be the rest of the tribes. They're supposed to be a tribe that's hungry because they were the best tribe of Judah. So we're the real tribe of Judah. They say no. So it represents the nature of the European country, the best of it. Understand that. They understand the idea, the best of European culture, that's what they represent. See? So that's locked up in that image over there. They're the best, they're surrounded by heathen, Muslims, and everything else. They probably represent the best of European because they're the best tribe. Then what happens? What happens? I put this in there. Just calm me down for a second. Because during this time, right? He said, if you see that, what I'm about to tell you, they said, run. Flee. We said, flee. Because I'm about to tell you, right? You'll see why. The great escape. See? But the great, that's to escape. But the great escape, right? That's when we better get the hell out of here. Because what's about to happen, we got to get the hell out of here. Because place will be total madness. Great escape is when mathematics takes us out, that's the great escape. Those fleeing, they escape, and if they didn't escape, but great escape is us. So that's what we have during this period of time. I'm not going to say exactly when, but during this period of time, that's when the black folks start coming together, but that's when we escape. That's when mathematics pulls out of here. I give you tickets, but he's doing the time. He's doing transportation. He controls them when the train arrives. I just had tickets so you get on the train when it does arrive. And me, do a loop sooner than you think. I talk about the injury. I'll tell you exactly when. I'll tell you exactly where. People ask me, where are we going to escape them? Why would you ask me something like that? So Doug is sitting there, wait for you? What? Yeah, you guys wonder when people ask you stuff like that. What's going on there? Great escape. So let's move on to the next. Famine. Why? Not famine here, famine there. False Israel, they're under siege. Famine there. False Israel under siege. No food in, no food. That's what this Bible talks about. They're under siege. Remember, they're the model of European nature, European culture, European excellence. And they turn the camels. Eating each other before the world. That destroys European image. Totally. Because there's nothing to destroy your image. You could be a murderer, you could be a child molester, you could be a rapist, whatever. And that's all bad. But if you're a cannibal, eat your own, chew your own flesh, you are that and worse. The whole image is totally destroyed before the whole world. That reveals all, because if that's where they are, and they're the essence of the European culture, they're the best, and that's where they are. That shows who they really are. And then all hell breaks loose. Because their power is totally broken. They're totally exposed, totally exposed. They have nothing left. Right? Jesus ain't returned. They can't do anything there. Americans help them. America's power is broken. And that's why men's hearts be failing for fear those things come from earth. Because now they see this and they understand that's coming to America. It's on the way here. It's God been at full out. See? It's racing here. That's what it is. Broken power. Private power. Totally. We ain't talking about the mental side that Suleiman's take care of over here in the atmosphere, because he's breaking their will in the atmosphere. He's breaking their will in the atmosphere. But he breaks their private power in the atmosphere. Everything they think they control, he breaks it. They don't have control of the atmosphere, he's trying, so they have none. That's why Suleiman take care of that. But all they had power, remember, their power, they didn't have a power in the atmosphere. He breaks the power they had, he breaks it. I'll break the power of your power, and that's what happens. So they have nothing left. See? So they know they're beasts. The world has seen them. All they was trying to pretend they would be is all bullshit now. The mask is off. So these things don't be like here. I'm just walking through this flow, sisters. I'm telling you what, I'm trying to give you a play-by-play of what you expect. Farrakhan ain't tell you nothing, because he's one of them. Okay, let's go to the next one. Right? That's the war in heaven. Breaks the pride of their power. Then what happened? Armageddon. Puts a hook in their jaw. Remember the Bible said, put a hook in their jaw, what that means? That's Suleiman working now. He got them so confused they're working against each other. He got a hook in their jaw. Lead them to Armageddon. Lead them to Armageddon. Because look at all the crazy stuff they're doing. And it makes no sense. Because Suleiman got them totally confused. He's putting stuff out there trying to figure out what he's saying and trying to get around it. They don't understand every move they make is actually going against themselves. They've been up, they hadn't paid attention at all. Actually, but still, the point is the pressure is pressure. See? So he's causing them to start fighting against each other. Remember that second horse there, fiery red horse, took peace away from the earth? That's the war in the Middle East, right? Give a sword. They start slaughtering each other. One for them start slaughtering each other. That's Armageddon. It's all under control, not under their control, but under our control. And then the great betrayal. That's part of it, right? That's part of it. Because all the allies are going to turn against them. We're talking about America specifically. Because EU, right, is going to turn against them. We always see signs of it already. They're trying to get, so you're going to find the side of Russia. So America will catch on both sides. That's the plagues. Armageddon is the 9 plagues. I'm not going to that here. Great betrayal. So Armageddon, that's Armageddon, the European war. Now they're fighting against each other. Their power is broken. And now they fight with each other. See? Because they lost control of the world. Now they fight with each other about it. They lost control of the world. They can't stop Taiwan, China taking Taiwan. They can't stop India and Pakistan coming together. They can't stop Africa coming together. Because Africa coming together, that's going to be one of the great miracles of the time. It's a miracle in your mind because you never heard anybody talk about this. But you're going to see it in a few days. Africa coming together. Yeah, it's going to be in the two parts. Islamic Africa and non-Islamic Africa. We'll see it in a few days. And then you got the Great Trail in Europe. That's the European wars. It's on the game. And during that time, the demon wars. That's why I stand up, fear those come from Europe, the powers have been shaken. Because when they get war amongst themselves over there, they fight themselves, they also fight with us over here too. They fight against all black people. They fight with everybody. Take all black people. Let me get some reasons for that in a minute. That's the beginning of the demon war. Not yet. It's the beginning of it. The demon war will happen until just a little bit after that. But they got to come together first. We cast them out, then the demon war officially starts. But it's the beginning of it. Because they start attacking. They start attacking all blacks. As far as the demons get defensive, they try to get rid of us, we reject them, then they start demon wars. That's no Armageddon. So they fight, it's the sword within and sword without. Like I said, the other time they start attacking us here. Part of the reason is we're going to talk about in a minute, right? Well, I'll talk about it now, actually. What's happening here? Remember, all these things happen. So that's when the famine starts here. Famine starts here. So there's going to be a fight for food, right? And black, and they're going to reserve food for themselves. Food they had to reserve for themselves. That's part of the reason, right? They're going to attack blacks. They'll get them under control. I'm not going into all the details about that, brother. So they're going to attack blacks. I've talked about it previously. Attack all blacks. That was one of their plans to get rid of blacks. See, the thing is they were planning on getting rid of blacks anyway. But that's from her proprietary power before they was able to do that. That's why it says those figures, right? They were strong before it was right. So I'm not going into that detail. I really can't talk that too much right now, brothers and sisters. I'm doing something I shouldn't be revealing, right? If I start into this, I'm not. But one of the points they can start attacking blacks. Well, I can't talk about some of it because remember I said flee. Because remember, during this time, this when false Israel is taken down. So I actually didn't show that here, right? The Armageddon. They break the pride of power, and we see them under siege, right? So actually, I'm glad to put that in there. So during Armageddon, that's when falsehood is gone. Because they break, right? They break. But I'm trying to segment this so you see some of the stuff overlaps, but I'm trying to keep it departmentalized so you understand it better. Because false Israel was taken down in that first slide I just told you about, right? But Armageddon is you was at war when false Israel actually goes down. And the one I'm talking about right now. But I'm seeing like that. I don't want to get you confused. I'm departmentalizing this so it looks like it's this and then the next note. Some stuff goes across, right? So false Israel actually goes down when they break the pride of power. It goes down, but it's on a siege, right? On a siege, But during war Armageddon is when it's really gone. Right? When it's siege, they finally take it out. So if you're doing the war of Armageddon, right, it starts immediately after America and Britain's kicked out. That's when actually it's gone. So during the war of Armageddon, while they fought with Europe, right, that means they're finally gone. And remember, that's when men's heart beats feel things come to earth because houses have been broken, shaken. Right? So they see, but the finite part of it, they know it's coming here. So it actually arrives during the time of Armageddon. Okay? You understand? So, but the other thing is that when it arrives, right? It's not. I don't want to go too much detail here about this. I'm going to get past this. The only thing I'm going to say is right now is that the famine is going to be, it's going to start across Israel. They're gone. They see it's coming here. So by the time Armageddon starts, right, it's already hit here. And it's growing fast. I put it that way. So therefore there's going to be a fight for food and everything else because they'll clean out all the stores. Right? And they said, we said abomination of desolation, right? Because it says flee, because as soon as it's taken down, right, they're all best off, and they come after you. That's a flee, because the next one names will come after you. For food. So if you want to know details, look at the previous presentation process, but I keep going through it. I'm trying to keep this departmentalized. And if you ever see the presentation, you might get a little confused. Because I said something goes across, it's not code and stick like I'm showing you here. Something goes across. Go across lines. Okay, let's move on. Okay. So we just say, put those two together. The next time, right, families hit America. And it's his heart. His heart, when it first hit your heart, then it gets worse quickly. But it's hard enough, right, that you get on the menu. I feel like that. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. I didn't even get this kind of detail here. But I guess you have to just explain this stuff. Because most people are not aware of the angel at all. Okay, death and Hades. Now, what death and Hades is about is in Daniel, talking about this goat that comes across from the west, his feet not touching the land. But that's China. Just look at your map. The Indians right behind, they're on the coast, they're on the coastline of China. So those who come across, right, over here, their feet not touching land. They come across the Pacific Ocean, you don't have to go across anybody's land to do that. China doesn't have to go across anybody's land, right? It doesn't have to go across the ocean. And India's right on the border, so they come right through China because they both come together. That's a leopard, yellow with brown spots. They come, that's death and Hades, you understand, India. Now America is in a famine, right? There's a fight for food here. Because not enough food, right? So they attack blacks, because blacks try to get food. That's another reason. They don't want to share with them, that's one reason. There's some that just want to eat them, because there's not enough. Some have food, some don't. Those that don't have food, right, they're going to make you food. But food's running out fast. So by time, in a short period of time, remember, they're fighting in Europe at the time, and the little food we do have, they got to give to their military. So food ran out fast. See, this during the time that false Israel is under siege. By the time they go down, food is going here. And now everything is going. Food is going, the image is going, the power is going, and they're hungry. They say we seek Jerusalem's got armies flee, because once that happens, you're going to bring them in you. Hope that explains it. But at the same time, it says, the dragon gave his power to the beast. That's his beast. It said, as you know, also, that's China and India, if you want to say it, India. Right. So now, they're on the way here. Let's go. They're on the way here. Europeans can't resist them. Their powers are broken. Plus, they avoid each other. So nothing to stop them. They're on the way here. Let's go. Death and Hades. That's the goal in Daniel. His telegram, that's American Britain, right? Knocks down and thumps it, crushes it. When they arrive, the demon war will take place 5 months. So demon war, I said demon war, they attack, all blacks come together, demons thrown out, right? They're fighting for their lives, also to keep from being eaten, and they think there's opportunity to take America, because America is distracted, and they avoid everything else. They try to get us to go along with it, we say no, we separate, we get the hell out of here, some of us, and they stay here, and that's the war. It's deep. There's no electricity, all that kind of stuff. Everybody, all these black-faced girls, all of them, children, everybody, they're all fighting. They get caught, they get eaten. And then, you think it was bad then goat rolls in China there, and they put America under siege. It's like they put Falls Israel. It was worse. Worse. And they do worse than False Israel. First, right, because they're attacking the blacks at the time, fighting with the demons. Any black they caught and eaten, or get wounded or killed, they eaten that they caught. And the siege lasts for a while. So now they wipe out. And if all the blacks they could get hands on, they said they're still hungry, they start eating themselves, young children. All the pets and everything's already gone for you. By the time China and India arrived, all the pets and everything are gone. So now, America's in siege. Total beast. China, they're going to have totally under siege in all the towns. Any blacks that's left around here, or any foreigners, they in process being eaten or already eaten, and then they start going eating on themselves and children. That's a siege. All this stuff would happen within 1 year, brothers and sisters. Said, 1 year. Demon war lasts 5 months. And then they come rolling in. That's the same as for Israel. This is worse famine. The last one. Under siege. No food in, no food out. There's no food. None. Zero. They've already all the blacks they get over hands on to. So they eat themselves. What scripture tell you, brothers and sisters? So it tells you. I'm not going to go into detail here, like I said. I got kind of distracted and other things, so maybe I'll follow up. They become flesh eaters. Our flesh, then their flesh. No restraints. And then that's the other thing. They roll in, they siege. Right? After a period of time. Right? They go in, they take the people that the strongest ones that survive, take them out into a perpetual slavery. And they burn the whole place down, burn down totally to the crisp. God, the little horn. Now, when you understand this thing about God and Magog, see, God represents America. Magog or the land of Magog is Britain, where America came out of. And Magog represents Britain. Right? But there's some of this little horn in Daniel. Now, when God gets, see, when you read the scriptures, God represents as a nation, also represents as a person. Because the president or leader of God is also a God. That God is Obama, because he's a president. He's the God he's talking about. He's the one that, we talk about China, but he's the one that controls now Islamic Africa. They'll come together. He's going to be in charge. That little hand pointed plucks up the tree by the roots. Who are the three? Right? Because when goat comes, the eyes of the goat, he's with the goat. It says he alongside in chapter 17. You know, he's a 7 heads, 10 horns also, but he has no crowns. Anyway, but he's with the beast that has 7 heads, 10 horns, crowns, 1 horns. So he's together with them. So he's with them when they come here. And I never said before, and I'm not going to elaborate on it, but those 3 winds, they were very in his control. But they're Africans, right? Because he had control of all non-Islamic Africa. Anyway, so there are 2 horns on the ram. Here they go. They have 1 horn. Because he takes down, he's helped them take down the ram, America, Britain, but then he takes them down. Because after he does that, after the Europeans have destroyed each other, pretty much, America's gone, this is that goat, right? That's the flood, turns to a flood, 200 million army, they take out Europe, they finish off Europe. That says the flood drowned all on the earth. Take it out. Okay. Now you have control of Africa, Europe gone, America's gone. Who's left? Primarily China, India. They're the big world power at that point, and Denmark. We're back in the Middle East at that time. Some of us had to go through tribulation. Okay. I didn't get any rest last night at all, brothers and sisters. Ooh, it's catching up with me. I just can't take a break. I know I can't. Because you have no idea what's about to hit you. I've got to do everything I can to get you over there. There's God. He's got control of this non-Islamic Africa. Right after Armageddon's taken out, we're separated out. America in siege. Fair and taken out. So now you have death in Hades and God. Death in Hades and China, India, and Africa, non-Islamic Africa, all together. Then what happens? Then he takes them out. So then he goes to where to go. He goes to where to go. They take her up 3 by the roots. Take out the goat and the ram by the roots. And the 2 horns with that 1. So he takes them out. He goes over and takes them out. Then he has his population where near this, where China is, but Africa go with 2 groups. They're all together, equal to that. But anyway, those cities were taken years ago, so it makes a difference right now. Okay, we're getting there, brothers and sisters. Oh God, I get whooped. And then try the war of the last days, that God. That's Ezekiel 30, I think it is. The war of the last days. That's God, it's a problem. Because God of America is gone. Everybody get all mixed up. Earthly gods. So you got this war now between China, India. Right? You got a war now between China, India, and Africa. Now it's under Africa. Oh, so at that point, he's defeated them. So you got 3 by the loose. And then it says he would look over and see Israel without borders. That can't be the one over there. And peace. That can't be the one over there. Because they never knew peace, and they have the borders not secure. Right? They got walls. We don't have any walls. So there will be no walls and secure. That means some of us. And we home. He has control of all the world, China, India, everybody else. And only thing he doesn't have control of us in the Middle East. But we've already vanquished the Arabs and everything, took our land back. So everybody said, hey, let's take them. That's God. So he says, because that's another story. That's where he says. So he goes to war with Nasser Muhammad, he goes to war with Suleiman, because he says, these 10 kings made war with, he said, these 10 kings made war with the land, but the land would come them. So they would make war with Suleiman. I'm going to say, brothers and sisters, I better keep my eyes on verse on that pretty support real quick. And then they're defeated. It says 6 months and buried dead. And then what's the result of that? Paradise went through defeat. That's the word of latter days. The word that what I just told you. The word of latter days talk about. Latter days after tribulation, after Armageddon, all that stuff. Word of latter days. Then paradise. Now paradise, we got rid of all of it. They're all going. Let's take all the agreements. Right? He took care of China and India. Then we go to war with them, we take care of them. That's paradise. Bring our women home to paradise. They can have an open soul, open heart. Right? And most of the next out of that. That's 10 bros, I think we'll leave it there. I have to have a choice because I can get to keep out of the bros. I need to look at some, I'm trying to get some of that after this. We're going to say, bro, since I try to get a timeline, I'll get some rest of everything, and perhaps tomorrow I'll go to do it again, some more things I didn't mention, and try to get a little more detail. I think I pretty much detailed you understand any of this. But if you don't understand this, you probably understand anything I do tomorrow anyway. We're going to say it, brothers and sisters. That's it. If that's it, we're going to say, I'm going to leave it there. Let's see, brothers and sisters. Yeah, it's not like